Om Shanti. So welcome all of you to the English Avyakt Murli Reading Club and a beautiful Murli today. It's about how Baba asking us to become karmateet. And then he nicely and gradually takes us to the stages of how to become karmateet. And what a beautiful date it is, 18th of January 87. It's the Smriti Divas, or the Day of Remembrance, when Brahma Baba became aware. And Baba is really inspiring us that learn from Father Brahma how to really become aware. Because he's the one living example which all of us have to follow. It's a huge Murli. Attendance is a little bit less. Let me begin. I'll share the screen. So I hope it is visible now. So, signs of the karmateet stage. Today, Aryak Bapdada has come to meet his children who have received the blessing. And the blessing is, may you have the Avyak stage, the Avyak angels. It is only once throughout the whole cycle at this confluence age that this Avyak meeting takes place. There will be meetings of deities in the golden age, but the Avyak meeting of angels only takes place at this time. The incorporeal father also celebrates a meeting to the Avyak father Brahma. The incorporeal one deeply loves this gathering of angels, and this is why he leaves his land and comes to the subtle and the corporeal world to celebrate a meeting with you. That's what Baba is saying, that Shiv Baba, he leaves the Nirakari stage and comes to the Akari, subtle, and the Sakari, corporeal world, to celebrate this meeting with us. Because of the attraction of the love of the angelic children, the father too has to change his form and dress and come into the children's world. Usually in Hindi, Baba says that मैं अपने dress, this is about Father Brahma. He says in Hindi, मैं अपनी dress और address बदलता हूँ. The dress is the Akari dress or the subtle dress. From corporeal Sakari, he becomes Akari, and addresses, again, obviously from the corporeal world, he comes into the subtle world or the Avyakt world, angelic world. So this confluence age is a very unique and lovely world of the Father and the children. Love is the greatest power that attracts. It binds the Supreme Soul, who is actually free from bondage and free from a body with the bond of love. So Baba says, actually, I am bondage free, but because of your powerful love that attracts, that I get bonded in this love. And it makes the bodiless one also become a bodily being through a body on loan. This is the practical proof of the children's love. This is also the day on which the rivers of love of many children from everywhere merge with the ocean of the love. So here Baba is saying Gyan Gangae coming to Gyan Sagar. Sorry, rather, I must say not Gyan Gangae, it is Sneha ki Ganga, the rivers of love. They merge with the Sneha ka Sagar. Children say we have come to meet Bapdada. Have the children come to meet the father, or is it that the father has come to meet you children? Or have both come to Madhuban to meet one another? I was playing around with children. Children have come to bathe in the ocean of love, but the father has come to bathe in thousands of Ganges. This is why the Mela, the meeting of the ocean and the Ganges, is a unique one. Baba gives many examples of this meeting in the Sakar Murli. He says Ganga Sagar, where the Ganga meets the ocean Sagar in the gateway of Bengal, which is along the side of West Bengal there. He also speaks about Brahmaputra. Brahmaputra also meeting the ocean Bay of Bengal. So you merge with the ocean of love and become like an ocean. So we become Bab Saman, like an ocean, Master Sneha Ka Sagar, Master Gyan Ka Sagar, so on. And this day is also called the day to become equal to the Father, the day of remembrance, that is the day of power. Smriti Divaso, Samadhi Divas. Why? Because this day is the memorial of Father Brahma becoming complete, perfect, and equal to the Father. Saman, Sampan, and Sampurna. The father and so the child and so the father Brahma, because Brahma is a child and also a father. So Brahma is a child, Prajapita. Remember 2 days ago in the Sakar Murli, Baba said that in the path of devotion, they have shown Shiv Baba. Shiv Baba has actually been taken out in the picture of the Trimurti. They just saw Trimurti. So Baba says it is incomplete. The full picture, the real picture is Trimurti Shiv. That along with Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar, there should be Shiv on the top because he is the creator of all these three. And he says that also while writing the introduction, don't write just Brahma, because when you just write Brahma, people think of the Avyakt, not Avyakt, Avyakt is our word in the path of knowledge. Baba says that they think of the subtle Brahma and the Brahma which is shown with the beard and the mustache. He's that Brahma. But he says, write down Prajapita Brahma. So when you say Prajapita, which means he's the father of the subjects, and therefore is Prajapita. The same way Baba is saying here that Brahma is actually a child of Shiva, but he's also the father. He's the Prajapita of all the Brahma Kumaris and Kumaris. On this day, Brahma gave the proof of being a worthy child in the form of love. He gave the proof of becoming equal. He gave the proof of being extremely loving and yet totally detached, Nyara and Pyara. He gave the proof of being karmateet, equal to the Father. That is, he gave the proof of being free from the bondage of karma like the Father. He gave the proof of being free from any karmic accounts of the actions of the whole cycle. Apart from the bondage of love for service, there are no more bondages. So this one sweet bondage, Baba says, should be there. The bondage of love for service. In service too, he is not a soul who is bound by any bondage of service. Because some do service whilst free from bondage, whereas others do service whilst tied in the bondages of service. Because Baba said that service, the fourth subject, can also become a bondage if we don't do it in the right consciousness. That is being in the soul conscious state. Therefore, Baba says always keep this balance of excuse me, of remembrance and service. Yad and Seva. If I'm doing a lot of service, but no Swa Seva, which means only Seva, 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 no Yog, no remembrance, then I'm not no good. Opposite, if I'm just doing Yog, 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 but no service, it is also not good. So Baba says has to strike a balance if I want to become karmateet fast. So Father Brahma is also a server. However, the royal forms of desire and service also tie one in the bondage of karmic accounts of service. So there can be many forms of royal forms of desire. We could come out with this in the sharing. One which I recollect is trying to eat the kacha phal. Kacha phal means the ripe fruit. Sorry, the raw fruit, the fruit which has not ripened enough. And what is that? That trying to sort of anticipate what would be the fruit of the service and bring some service, and then I expect the result to be like that. Any expectation, a subtle expectation in the form of this should happen also is tying you to that karma, and you are not becoming karmateet. Second is any desire of having a little bit of, not a big form of name and fame, but even that someone should acknowledge, oh, you did a nice job, your lecture was good, so on and so forth. So any sort of acknowledgement also is a bondage. Third, I want someone to film my video or take some photographs, film video, put it on YouTube, so on and so forth. Why do I want that to happen? Why should someone take a photograph? Is it for the purpose of documentation? Who do you want to document it to? Baba knows. Baba knows what everyone. Baba knows what service each and every child is doing. So these are a few forms, royal forms of desire, and this we get stuck in this maypan, in this I-ness or my-ness that yes, I am doing this. And so I'm doing good service, but then it takes me into the limited, which I am from unlimited, I fall down to limited when these things happen. These are the few royal forms of desire. You can churn on many other forms, each to his own. Because all of us are servers. We know what sorts of Maya comes in our service atmosphere. So true servers are also free from that karmic account, the bondage. This is a big bondage. And this is therefore called a karmateet stage. See, just as there is the bondage of the body and the bondage of the relationships of the body, देह की देह का and देह के संबंध उनका बंधन. So too, selfish motives in service are also a bondage, and they can create an obstacle to your becoming karmateet. So to become karmateet means to become free from that royal karmic account. Then Baba goes on to address the majority who have come are servers who are instruments for the Gita Pathshalas. So not the center in charges or the center sisters, the Gita Pathshala caretakers. So service means to liberate others too. While liberating others, you don't tie yourself in bondage, do you? You're trying to pull out someone from the whirlpool, but you yourself are being pulled into that. That's what happens. Instead of becoming a conqueror of attachment, having renounced all the attachments to your physical children, etc., you don't have attachment to your students, do you? So at one place, you're being bondage free from your own Lokik progeny, your children, etc., so on and so forth. Baba says, but do you get attached to your own students of the center or of the Gita Pathshala? While saying this one is very good, he is very good, and considering someone to be good in that way, you don't tie yourself in the bondage of the desire of that one belonging to you. Do you? So beautiful Baba explaining. You don't like golden chains, do you? No one likes chains actually, whether it's gold or silver or copper or whatever iron. But this is just an example that you are bonded in chains, and it's a golden chain, it's a royal form of desire, like so and so one is acha, he's good. And then people say, इच्छा नहीं होती है, but अच्छा लगता है that way, right? So I don't have a desire, but he is good. His way of seva is good, his lecture is good. So you get just swayed away by his goodness. So celebrate today as the day to become free from this limited consciousness of mind, and that is as the other day to become karmateet. This is also called giving the proof of love. Everyone's aim to become karmateet is good, but now check to what extent you'll become free from the bondage of karma. So see, so deep is this definition of karmateet. At any point of time, we get stuck in what seva we do or what karma we perform. So firstly, check whether you're free from the feeling of any selfish motives in both Lokik and Alokik, in action and in relationships, Sambandh Sampark. Secondly, have you become free from the karmic accounts of your own actions of the past births? and free from the influence of a wasteful nature and sanskars due to any weakness in effort at the present time. So our own weak purusharth, not Tivra purusharth, Sadharan purusharth, it pulls me because then I have waste thoughts and I use my old sanskars, etc. If any weak nature or sanskars or the nature and sanskars of the past influence you at any time, then you are tied in bondage and you're not free from bondage. Further, Baba says, do not think I don't want this to happen, but my nature and sanskars make me do it. This too is not a sign of one who is free from bondage, but it's a sign of one who is tied in bondage. Another thing, when any situation of service, the gathering, all the elements make your original stage, that is your elevated stage, fluctuate. That too is not the stage of being from bondage, being free from bondage. So you understood this, that it's like any situation in service, which means something, I'm in a service, and some sort of swabhav sanskar, someone's nature and sanskar clashes. There is conflicts, there is difference of opinion, and my stage fluctuates, then I am not karmateet. So this is situation of service or the gathering. Elements. So the elements, which means the five elements of nature and the five elements also of which the body is made. So anything, like it could be my own ill health is affecting my original stage, or someone's ill health is interfering with my service because that other so and so XYZ was supposed to be my service companion, and he or she now is not able to come. And then I was so dependent on him. Oh dear, he's not able to come, my stage fluctuates. So all these are so subtle, which Baba is saying, check yourself that all this, which Baba says in different words, sadhan and sadhana, that my sadhana, my tapasya, my service, everything has to be independent of any of the sadhan. Sadhan means any of those extra things which help me in my service. So I should be independent of all that, independent of even people around. If someone is not there for service, can I just go ahead and do it myself rather than getting stuck with that person's absence? So Baba says that will fluctuate your elevated stage. So become free from that bondage too. Next, thirdly, also become free from any upheaval of your elevated stage that may come through any type of illness of the last old body in the old world. So it's about illness of the self. It is one thing is for the illness to come, but it's another thing for that illness to make you fluctuate. See, we can never say, oh, why did this dengue, malaria, etc., come to me? No, it will come because it's the Tamopradhan old body of the old world. Baba is saying that. So it will come, but that should not fluctuate me from my stage. It is destined for it to come, but your stage to fluctuate is a sign of being tied in bondage. So now become free from having thoughts about the illness of the body. Instead, have thoughts of your original self, thoughts of knowledge, and of being one with pure and positive thoughts for others. Because thinking too much about matter changes it into a form of worry. So पांच तत्व के बारे में सोचना will cause you just worry, चिंता. Nowhere else will it take us. So to become free from that is also called the karmateet stage. And to renounce all of those bondages is a sign of the karmateet stage. Father Brahma became free from all of these types of bondage and attained the karmateet stage. So remember, even Brahma Baba, right at the day when he was getting the heart attack, when he was about to leave the body, you see how people wince in pain when they get a heart, acute, what we say, myocardial infarction or heart attack. It really is very painful. But Brahma Baba didn't even have a sign of remorse or grief on his face. And on the contrary, while he was having the heart attack, he was leaving the body, and in the experience of 18th January, many times we have heard that how children used to ask that Baba, what was the feeling? So Baba said at one point, the body was trying to pull me towards it because if you get severe pain in the chest, your consciousness of soul conscious will be very, very zero because you're being pulled towards the body. So at one end, the body was trying to pull me towards it because of the severe pain. At the same time, Baba was pulling me towards the subtle world of incorporeal world, whatever you want to say, to come out of the body. And at third point, there was the subtle pull of you children. And that pull, Baba said, was nice because it was the pull of love. The love which children had for me, you all were trying to pull me. But with all this, finally, I mean, he won because the pull of Baba was the strongest of all of these three pulls. And then he became aware. And at that same time, he was transferring powers because Dadi Prakash Muni was holding his hand. And so all the powers, the subtle powers, were being transferred from Brahma Baba into Dadi Prakash Muni. So all these things you have heard in the story. So today is the day to become karmateet like Father Brahma. So did you understand the significance of this day? Acha. So today's gathering is especially a gathering of those who are special servers, that is, those who are becoming pure and charitable souls. So Pavan or Punya, Puja and Punya rather. Punya Atma and Pavan Atma. So today in the Sakar Murli also Baba is mentioning about these two, pure and charitable, in the Sakar Murli which we'll read in the morning. So now he's addressing the Gita Pathshala caretakers. To open a Gita Pathshala means to become a pure and charitable soul. The greatest charity of all is the charity of liberating every soul for all the time, that is, from their sins of many births. The name is very good, Gita Pathshala. So those from a Gita Pathshala means those who study the lessons of the Gita and also teach others. What's the first lesson of the knowledge of Gita? It is to become a bodiless soul. And the last lesson is to become a conqueror of attachment and an embodiment of remembrance. That is, we call Nashto Moha Smriti Labha. And the first lesson is, that's the last lesson. The first lesson is consider yourself to be a soul, bodiless soul, which means Ashariri Atma. So the first lesson is the method, Vidhi, and the last lesson is the result achieved through that lesson, that is the Siddhi. So it's beautiful, like Baba just sums it up, the entire Gita, the entire course in just these two words. The first is Vidhi. It is the way to become aware or karmateet or complete, perfect, equal to Father is consider yourself again and again, day in and out, to be a bodiless soul or Shariri Atma. That's the method. And Siddhi, the result of that is you become Nashto Moha Smriti Labha. So are those from the Gita Pathshalas learning this lesson at every moment? Or do you just read the Murli? Because the method for a true Gita Pathshala is first of all for the self to study. That is to become that, and then to become an instrument and teach others. Which reminds me here that we are doing these Arts for Life series episodes. We finished the Values for Life series over 4 years from 2020 to 24, and now we've started with the Arts for Life series. It's a program in English where seniors speak about that on our Saturday series online. So the recent art now which we'll be covering from this Saturday onwards is the art of learning and the art of teaching. So obviously, what comes first? The art of learning. So as a Gita Pathshala caretaker, I should not be, oh, I'm your teacher. I've come to teach you. No, no one actually is a teacher ideally. It's only the Supreme Teacher Baba. So all of us have to learn first, and that's what Baba is saying. That your instruments, Learning means you have to study yourself first. The Murli, while I'm reading the Murli also, should not sound that I am doing it as a teacher. I'm just preaching and teaching. No, I am a student first. I have to learn from that Murli. I have to become an embodiment of the points of the Murli, and that way then I'm teaching others from my behavior. I don't really need to teach them that do this. No, Baba is the supreme teacher. I am just an instrument. I am imbibing those points in myself, getting it out into my on my face, in my activities, in my day-to-day being. And then when I become an embodiment of that, people get inspired, and that becomes a teaching for them, that they follow me. Right? So all of you in the Gita Pathshalas doing, so are all of you in the Gita Pathshalas doing service with this method, that first become an embodiment, and then that's what a beautiful word, sample. Because all of you are samples of this godly study, in front of the world. A sample is important. A sample gives many souls inspiration to become like that. So those from the Gita Pathshalas have a big responsibility. Because if you show the slightest weakness in becoming a sample, then instead of creating the fortune of many souls, see, it's a very distressing thing which Baba said. You will instead become instruments to deprive many souls of creating their fortune. So we have to really understand this is a big responsibility on all of our shoulders, of all the sevadharis which we are. Because those souls you see here, look at you, instrument souls in the corporeal form. जैसे हिंदी में कहते हैं ना, Mama Baba used to be very careful. They used to say, जैसा कर्म मैं करूँगा वैसा दे और करेंगे. So I have to be really careful on the path of this knowledge which I am on the BK path or BK journey, whatever you want to call it. To be very careful about each and every step, at each and every step, about my action, about my words, and more important also about my thoughts. What am I creating thoughts about others? So the Father is incognito, isn't he? Therefore demonstrate this by performing such elevated actions. That seeing your elevated actions, many souls will also perform elevated actions and become able to elevate their line of fortune. So firstly, consider yourself always to be a sample. Beautiful another word is simple and sample. Be simple. Simple doesn't mean about anything about to do with physical simplicity, like wearing very simple clothes and very simple attire. That is also one aspect, no doubt. But simplicity in thoughts, word, and actions. Simplicity means also I am so pure from inside. I'm like a small child, that whatever I think, so I say, and so I do. Simplicity is also being no waste, absolutely clean and clear. So there are many aspects of simplicity. So the more and more I become Gyan Yug, Gyan Swarup, the more and more I become simple. So therefore become a sample. Secondly, always remember your symbol. Do you know what the symbol of those from a Gita Pathshala is? A lotus flower. Bapdada has told you to become a lotus flower and to put this into practice. This means to become a lotus is to put it into practice. And you all know what is a lotus symbolizing? What does it signify? Nyara and Pyara. Loving yet totally detached. Because if you don't put it into practice, you cannot become a lotus. So therefore, always keep this in your intellect. I am a sample, and also keep the symbol of the lotus flower in your intellect. Then no matter how much service increases, you will remain detached and loving whilst doing service. Do not just be loving, but be detached and loving. Nyara first and then Pyara. This is because to have love for service is a good thing, but you have to make sure that that love does not change into attachment. This is called being loving whilst attached. So you became instruments for service, and that is very good. we at least received the title of being pure and charitable souls. So therefore now, because you carried out a charitable act, you were given a special invitation. Therefore, the Gita Pathshala uh, caretakers were invited. 87 on 18 Jan, especially they were invited. So now for the future, Baba is inspiring them. Continue to make progress with the stage of success for which Baba taught you a lesson. Do you understand what you have to do in the future? Achha. So I think this is almost the half of the Murli, and then tomorrow we'll read there. And tomorrow, no, day after, on Monday, 24th of November. So I'll stop sharing the screen and then see what emerges into your intellect about sharing. We'll have a minute of silence. Thank you. We can start sharing.
Shanti Manoj Bhai. It was nice to know about Sampurna Brahma, Sampanna Brahma, complete and perfect like Father Brahma. And we also know that how he reached this final stage of being an angelic life. And you also gave us his final moments, how really he left this body and how, what was that thing. You gave us a picture, a live action of that. Here again, Baba speaks about becoming some three kinds of bondages. I think he has given about selfish motives. But I was just thinking about one thing which really struck us is his bodiless stage. From the time when Shiv Baba entered him till he left his body, his bodiless stage, where Baba even very recently in a Sakar Murli, where Baba said, Brahma Baba said, I have Baba with me. I can remember him. I sleep with him, but Baba cannot hug me. He can hug you. You are very lucky. So I was thinking that kind of pain or what Brahma Baba had when he mentions that. When he said, you can hug the body that Shiv Baba has taken on loan, but how can I hug him? I don't have that fortune. So even though he's a lucky chariot, he says, y'all are more lucky than me. Y'all are the lucky stars. So there, that concept of that bodiless stage which he had, it just hit me to say, what was Brahma Baba trying to say about it? Like it was a very pain in him. He said, how can I hug him? I don't have that fortune. So this bodiless stage is also a very starking thing which we have to remember as a chariot, or sometimes he's called as a long boot. So I was also thinking about this aspect of Brahma Baba today, which led him to what today signals have been given for being karmateet. Om Shanti. Manoj
Om
bhai, can you
Shanti.
just throw some light on this? I really, it touched me that Sakar Murli when Baba said that Shiv Baba cannot hug me, don't have that fortune. What was your feeling when you read that?
Okay, so thank you for the question. So Yeah, so same thing applies to even Dadi Gulzar, who was the Avyak chariot, because in her body it was Brahma Baba, the Avyak angel stage, and Shiv Baba, the incorporeal, used to come. And that's what she used to always say, that the sisters, Asha Didi from ORC, used to share this always, that Dadi used to say, "You're so lucky that you all children, except me, except Dadi Gulzar, because you are able to listen to first-hand Murli coming. Obviously, we're speaking about the Avyak Murlis now, 69 onwards till 2017. So you are able to listen to the Murlis first-hand, directly versions of Baba. And you all can take his, and here Daddy used to say, you all can take Baba's drishti directly, which I can never do, because obviously, because it's like Father Brahma, Shiv Baba coming into his body. Same thing here, both these Babas coming into Dadi Gulzar's body. So Drishti, Vani, that is the thing, and even Toli, all these, which are the three basic, what we call, uh, our rights. Toli, Boli means the Murli, and Drishti. So Drishti, Toli, Boli. So Dadi used to say, you are so lucky. And then obviously, one way to prove this was people used to ask, because the children used to say, Dadi, today's Murli was so nice. Baba said this. So Dadi was very blank, because Dadi didn't know what Baba said, because when Dadi's body was being used, Dadi was in one way, a sushupta avastha, a very semi-conscious stage in the subtle world, where she didn't know what Baba, because Brahma Baba soul and Shiv Baba, the Supreme Soul, both used to fully, in one way, take over the soul of Dadi Gulzar. And therefore, she used to be in the subtle stage, or she used to be in the semi conscious stage. And therefore, the first thing what Dadi used to do, because she used to sit sometimes 16 hours, the longest Baba Milan was 16 hours. You can imagine it was from, say, 6 p.m. In the evening today, and went on to around 10 a.m. in the morning next. So after 16 hours sitting, you can imagine what happens to you when you sit for a couple of hours. You start moving. But Baba never used to move. And therefore, Dadi Gulzar's body also was static, stable, no movement at all. So after that also, she used to go and freshen up, maybe whatever, have a shower and all that. And after that, she didn't used to take rest. She used to immediately go and read the Murli, that what Baba has said, 16 hours, what Baba has said. And that time, those days were different, because Baba used to have personal meetings with children. Each and every child used to be in front of Baba, then small groups, small families like that. And Baba used to give personal blessings to each and every child and every group. So that all used to be typed by Raju Bhai, and Raju Bhai used to give it to Dadi to read. And then Dadi used to say, wow, so that's what. So this is the disadvantage of these bodiless souls, you must say, Brahma Baba and Dadi Gulzar both. So they tell us we are lucky souls, but these are the ones who have practiced, as you rightly said, Girija Ben. They have practiced being an embodiment of the stage of bodiless soul, Ashariri Atma Avastha, that they have practiced, and put it into practice, of which we can just only speak about. Our practice is very little of those, all of us do agree, but finally we have to keep practicing all that. So that's what I had to say. Sorry, it became a little bit long sharing. Over to anyone else.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, dear and family. Thank you, Manoj Bhai. It's a very insight you have told about this, about Guljar Dadi. That's very wonderful. It's karmateet, yani ki Shiv Baba is entering in their body, and the body is the bodiless, and soul is only in journey. Or soul is absorbing everything. Yani so they don't, she don't know anything about what is going on. So that I got. And other is, I want to tell you about that. What the bondage? Suppose there is a bondage. Everybody has the bondage. But one important thing is we yani continuously be remain in all thoughts, words, and actions in a soul conscious state. it so yeah, to bond, suppose means, free from bondage, how can, means, can you elaborate on that? Suppose we are doing our business, we are job, and all these things. So so that's that karma we have to do. Then the karma means, yeah, Baba is also mentioned that the free from karmic account, royal karmic account, and your so that miss, you miss, how miss you can miss, can you express me?
Yeah, so it's very simple. Let's try to understand it in the form of examples. So as you said, we are doing a job, we are doing a business. So while doing that business, what is my thought process inside? So for example, I'll take a logic thing first. That if I'm in a business, I'm a businessman and I am sort of calculating something and I am thinking that I should get so much and so much profit, etc. So much and so much business, whatever in the form of money, etc. dash dash from somewhere. That so and so profit I should get. That's what I'm expecting, but I'm not getting that profit. So this is a bondage for me because if I'm not getting that, then my consciousness and thoughts will just go in that direction. Oh, why didn't I get? Why didn't I get? So now let me take another example now. Switch gears to Seva, a Alokik service. That I went here for a program. Say around 1,000 people came for my lecture and I gave a nice lecture. Again, I gave a lecture. This is also so dangerous. If I get this, this is a royal form of Maya. What I told you initially is just a very big, gross form of Maya at business, local. Now, in my service, it is all subtle Maya. So I did the lecture and I create this thought, wow, 1,000 people listened to my lecture. Now, this thought is also a very dangerous thought because it is taking me in the consciousness of I and mine. I did this service, I did that. And then subtle inside, I'm having this thought that people should come and praise me, right? So this is another dangerous thing which is not making me karmatik because I'm getting attached to the result of my seva. So here are these are few examples which I gave. So it's a big list like that, and each one has to check that. So in short, what is my consciousness while doing seva? What is my consciousness? What are, in the sense, what are my thoughts while doing service, alokik seva, or even lokik seva at home? Even at home, like mothers are there at home who are not going for job. When you're cooking your meal, for example, you're cooking it in Baba's remembrance, fine, very good. But then if someone sort of praises you, oh wow, if your child says, wow, today's sabji is very good, the taste is very good. And then if I get, wow, see, maine banaya, dekha, the taste is good. So I'm failed there. So these are all small,
Okay.
small things which get me attached to my
Yeah.
the thing I have done. So this is the thing which we have to check. All of us have different papers. We have different family backgrounds, different karmic accounts with people. So that is what to check. So I hope it makes clear that way.
And also, yes, you said that feeling free from feeling of any selfish motive from locking and unlocking. So that's your point is right. That during that work we have to do, we have to selfish motive, feeling of selfish motive. When do this, so we become a karmatic. I think so. I know.
Yeah, and one more thing I'll add, I don't know where I read this, that Baba says, you have come here to become complete and perfect. Means in English we say full, Full, full. So Baba says beautiful two other words, that if you come into the arena of feeling, which means if you're very sensitive by nature, if someone has told you something and you start feel. So full say, Baba says feel, then you will fail. So if you still are in this mode there where you are becoming very sensitive, kisne kuch kaha, and then I became like chui mui, which means touch me not flower, don't tell me anything, otherwise I will become upset that way. So if I still am getting this feeling of, Baba says, flu ka feeling hai, you become ill with this. So if you are in that feel, if you are still able to feel that thing, then you're not becoming, then you're failed. You can't become complete and perfect. Then you can't become full as well. So fail, feel, and flu and full. All these Baba plays around with these beautiful, simple English words. So this also is taking me away from my karmateet stage, whereby someone tells me something and I become totally like upset or why this person said. So that way, so it's a big subject of karmateet. Thank you for pointing it out, brother. Yeah,
Okay, Om Shanti. Thank you.
and yeah, Divya Bhen is just resounding what Baba has said in the Murli. So it is selfish motives and alokik, free from karmic accounts of past births. So our past sanskars, past birth, they really have a heavy toll on us. We become heavy because of those sanskars and past karmic accounts and upheaval, particularly through any illness of the body. So thank you for summarizing that. I think time is up, or you want to do any further sharings?
Manoj bhai, just one doubt. Isn't the list of karmatit something very long? In this Murli, okay, Baba has just highlighted this three, I think because taking as 18th January. But generally, I feel whenever this karmatit Murli goes, there's a long list. There are so much more Baba always says from that ordinary one fruit of action to the last one, as you said, conqueror of attachment and all. Isn't the list very long?
Yeah, so I mean, it's an unending list. Right now, as we speak, also in my mind, thoughts are going on, and I have to sit down and check myself. What thoughts am I creating? Are those thoughts taking me away from karmati stage? Because Baba says even creating simple thoughts or sadharan thoughts like I have to cook this, I have to do that, that is also a waste. In one way, it is not making me feel elevated. So every thought of mine is either taking me away or towards karmati stage. So yes, it's a big list, unending list, never ending list till the time we leave the body. It's really very big.
Om Shanti. So Baba also touched upon few lines about the Gita Pathshala instruments. So I'll just cover that. So those who are running Gita Pathshala, they do have great responsibility that they are the instruments. So Baba says they are Baba's instrument, and also they have to be the sample of God's study. So whatever Baba is teaching us, so the world, so people around them are going to look at them as that sample. So based on that, they are inspired to come and take up this knowledge. So, and the sample is always it's a lotus. The symbol of lotus flower is also Baba highlighted that those who mostly those who run the Gita Pathshala, so when they are living the family, so they have to demonstrate that the lotus flower. And and we have to ensure that our action inspire others, right? So every time we do something, that we have to check, did I do it to impress people, or did I do it to inspire people? So some of these points Baba touched the for the instruments, those who are running Gita Pathshala. So this is I thought of sharing. Of course, I like the points that that the people have shared about karma. It's very deep, good to understand. Thank you all. Om Shanti.
Okay, so it is nice to know because I know many of you are
I
actually,
yeah, sorry. Yeah, I think when it comes to the bondages, I think the biggest bondage would be of the body, right? When there is something that happens to the body in the form of illness, that is where the biggest paper will come, right? Um, so at the time, we have to look after the body, but at the same time, we should not have any attachment to the body, and we should not have any sort of a bad feeling to it. Our state of mind should be good, and we should feel happy that we are settling the karmic account. But talking all this in the form of theory is very easy, but I think when it comes to applying it in the practical way, that's where the challenge comes, isn't it, Manoj bhai?
Yeah, so I was just trying to say that as you to pick up from what you said. So there are three, and also Girija Ben was saying it's a long list. So it's basically under these three headings. Body, so in Hindi I'll say first Deha, Deha ke Padarth, and Deha ke Sambandh. So it's a big three list. Body, Padarth is all the materials of the body. In one way, it's your mobile phone and so on and so forth. And third is your relationships, all your lockic, alokik, everything. And each can be ramified into many different subtypes. So here it is. I will say that Vijit Bhai, which you were asking, that it's not a challenge. We have to learn from dadis. We have to look at their stories, that how they won over their illnesses, about all the papers of the bodies they had. They had big illnesses. The biggest example is Mama having such a horrible illness of cancer, stage 4, which means spread all over the body. And there's so much of pain. But right at the last moment also, before she leaving the body, Baba said, do seva and leave the body. And from her face, she was distributing grapes to all the children in Pandav Bhavan. But you know that story, all of you all. Despite that, she being in so much of pain, she was having a lot of pain, but she did that seva. So, and this is Mama, and there are so many stories about dadis. So we have to learn that these dadis and our Mama and Baba, they have shown us in person through their practical life that yes, we can do that. So I think we should not use this limiting word that it's a challenge, it may or may not be possible. It is possible because these people have lived that life, and all of us are doing that bit by bit in whatever way we can do. But we have to keep going, and finally we will reach that stage. So let's not create this limiting thought. It's difficult, it's challenging. No, because that is also in one way taking me away from my karmateet stage. So that way. Right. All good to go. And so shall we just remain in silence rather than any music? So we'll just spend a few moments in silence and just analyze that from what we heard today, what is it to be karmateet stage for me as a person, and particularly on these three lines, churn on these three, uh, my body relationships, and all those sadhan, all those materials associated with the body. That is mobile phones, my car, my bungalow, my house, my property, etc., my wealth, my bank accounts. It's a big thing. So look at all those from that perspective. Om Shanti. Thank you all of you. And any announcements, Vijay Bhai?
No, thank you. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Anuj Bhai. Thank you, Divine Family. We'll connect again tomorrow at 5 a.m. So until then, you all have a wonderful day. Om Shanti.